Islam, 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 Moorish America. Want to rise upon the seven within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything that our Holy Prophet brought to make us a nation. But let us come forth with our ancient committee and adept Moorish American prayer. And as we come forth, we ask that you open up your hearts and minds as we open up the way. Islam, Islam, Islamism without the schism. Ya Allah abnu heru makuneteru. Ya Allah abhet heru. Ya Allah ma'at heru. Ya Allah hutep heru. Ya Allah heru. Ya Allah ma'at herakuti. Ya Allah ahwajet the duty. Ya Allah put im sutek put im heru. Ya Allah bamaduti. Al-Hajjat Sepsis Rab to Ali. Amen. Hariyas, Hariyas, Hariyas. And that is to say, Moorish kin in transliteration, O Allah, the Father of the universe, O Allah, the Father of love, O Allah, the Spirit of truth, O Allah, the Spirit of peace, O Allah, the Spirit of freedom, O Allah, the Spirit of justice. O Allah, you are my protector. O Allah, you are my guide. O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day. O Allah, through your holy prophet, O Allah, Drew Ali. Amen. Holy Issa, Holy Issa, Holy Issa, Islam Moorish king. And now we come forth before you with the divine constitution of Moorish America, salvation, our God, unity, the seven supreme constitutional acts of law. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of Moorish America empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the grand body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. The bylaws. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh. And on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you're part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the Prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America, and then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children, look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious, and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessings be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. And now that this meeting has been opened according to the triune acts, Acts 1, 2, and 3 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, we say Islam, Islam, Islamism. The providence of Allah is ever all his works. He ruleth indirectly with infinite wisdom. He hath instituted laws for the government of the world. He hath wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature, conforming to his will. Shemotepu Moorish kin. Peace and love.
Islam, muted from Islam. Islam, family. I am Divine Minister, Dr. Diane Carter Bay, National Assistant Grand Secretary of State, my ancient committee, and her name being Dr. Ginger O'Neill of Bay. First, let me rise and give praise to great God Allah. I give honor to our holy prophet, I give honor to the Act 1, and I give honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheik for opening us up according to law. And at this time, I will be reading chapter of the week, chapter 1, coming from our Holy Quran. And it reads, the creation and fall of man. Time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, the time would come when it would end. The thought of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject to change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things, and they will change. Yet, from the finite point of view, the time will come when they will be no more. But man himself is not the body, nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. Created faith gave to man, the spirit man, a soul that he might function on the plane of soul. Gave him a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Why the created faith gives to the spirit man a soul that he might function on the plane of soul? Why the created faith gives to soul a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest? Hear now, ye cherubim, ye angels and ye men. Hear now, O quadrupeds and earth and plants and beasts. Hear now, ye creeping things of earth, ye fish that swim, ye birds that fly. Hear now, ye winds that blow, ye thunders and ye lightnings of the sky. Hear now, ye spirits of fire, of water, earth, and air. Hear now, O everything that is, or was, or evermore will be. For wisdom speaks from the highest plane of spirit life. Man is the thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time, but things that are concerned with time begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come. And so is man, the spirit man. But man, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed that had within itself the potencies of Allah. Just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of is as perfect as the mother is. So, man, the seed must be deeply planted in his soil that he might grow, unfold as does the bud unfold to show the flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul, and he became the Lord of all the kingdoms of the soul. Now, let every creature hear. The plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane vibrating not so fast. And in the lower realm of this plane, the essence of life are manifest. The perfume and the odors, the true sensation, and the all of love manifest. And these soul attributes became a body beautiful. A multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul. And here he carries many ages until his lessons are all learned. Upon the boundary of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slower still, and then the essence took on a final God. The perfumes and odors and the true sensation and the all of love were clothed in flesh, and man was clothed in flesh. Perfected man must pass through all the ways of life, and so a carnal was full manifest, a nature that sprung forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the planes of manifest, of protoplasm, of mineral, of plant, of beast. But he gave up his birthright just to gratify his soul self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage. But he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and tribulations manifold. But let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the station of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah who rules the solar stars are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. Man will be fully saved, redeemed, perfected by the things he suffers on the plane of flesh and on the plane of soul. When man has conquered carnal things, his God of flesh will then have served its purpose well, and it will fall, will be no more. Then he will stand uncommitted on the plane of soul, where he must full complete his victory. Unnumbered foes will stand before man upon the plane of soul. These he must overcome, yea, overcome them every one. Thus hope will ever be his beacon light. There is no failure for the human soul, for Allah is lead on and victory is sure. Man cannot die. The spirit man is one with Allah, and while Allah lives, man cannot die. When man has conquered every foe upon the plane of soul, the seed will have full hope, will have a soul in the holy breath. The God of soul will then have served its purpose well, and man will need it nevermore, and it will pass and be no more, and man will then attain unto the blessedness of perfectness and at one with Allah. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Again, family, I am Dr. Ginger Adi Akurtabe. Today is May 25th, 2024. We give honors to Dr. Ginger Nia Kirkabay for reading our chapter of the week and taking registration. We give honors to our National Assistant Grand Sheik for opening us up according to law. Again, we want to welcome everyone to our Moorish Perspective class, sponsored by our Moorish American government. Our host for tonight's class is our National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Sadu L. His subject for tonight is coming from our Divine Constitution of Moorish America, Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of Moorish America are empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he did, according to love, truth, freedom, and justice. And it is known for the citizens of Moorish America. He will also be bringing a drawing from chapter 1, the creation and fall of man. Also, Moors, don't forget to check your emails for the link as we will be going live. Definitely, Moors, have your pens and papers handy as we ready to start. And at this time, we're going to turn everything over to our host, our National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Sadu L. Are you there, God man? Unmuted.
Islamism, can you hear me, Goddess and Queen?
Islam, I can hear you.
Gratitude. Islam, that means Moorish America. Can hear me. Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Moorish America. Want to rise upon the seven within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution, and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything. And I do mean everything that our holy prophet brought to make us a nation. I want to welcome you to another Moorish Perspectives. I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahid Imani Amohadi Shabazz El. And my ancient committee and high name being the same as Dr. Shedawamenti El Muhajid Shepsuel. And Moorish kin, we want to give honors to all of you who are within the sound of my voice, and all of you who will come forth to demonstrate your measure. This is a grand drawing, and our subject title is actually the uniting of chapter 1 and act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. This is the uniting of chapter 1 and act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. Why is it necessary that we demonstrate from this special drawing? The essence of this special measure has to do with understanding that chapter 1 deals with the creation and fall of man. Law governs all events. As it is above, so it is below. As it is within, so it is without. Meaning within the inner circle, so it is, with the outer circle, so to speak. When we understand that we have to be uplifted, at some point we must realize that we had fallen. I want to encourage our family out there that's watching, to get the likes up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. But most definitely get the likes up so that we can get this content out there to the people. They need it. So this is the uniting of chapter 1 and act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. So the question is how do we link chapter 1 and act 1? And we're not just speaking merely on dealing with the number 1, although that is a part and parcel of the measure, but there's something, there is an element that is mentioned. There's some ingredients within chapter 1 that pretty much confirms Act 1. It confirms that Act 1 is in conformity with chapter 1. We know Allah is one. We know Allah represents unity. You know, we speak of unity in the likes of what we call the grand idea that precludes to monotheism. And many times when we hear this, we hear that this is just dealing with the worship of one God. But many of our people have no knowledge of what we call a deific tie, a golden cord of love and unity, which makes all things one. That includes the law that governs the events that come forth from the origin of the causeless cause and rootless root. This measure is mentioned in the same portion that speaks of our title to our vast estate. For example, it states, "Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man," and we know man to us, M-A-N, represents a Moorish American national, "is the Lord of all the plane of things made manifest. We are the vicegerent of the great God Allah, Lord of all the plane of things made manifest," right? Of protoplasm, of mineral, of plant, of beast. But we gave up our birthright just to gratify our lower self. We gave up our nationality and our divine creed so that our bread can be eaten by another, just to gratify the lower self. Now listen, it states, "But man," Moorish American national, M-A-N, this removes the gender and focuses on the genderless seed. Because when Allah casts his seed, he casts his seed as a genderless seed, right? But the Moorish American national will regain his or her lost estate, his or her heritage, but they must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yeah, they must suffer trials and temptations manifold, but let them know, this is the key, that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and the spirit of the Almighty Allah, who rule the solar stars, are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. And man as the Moorish American national, right, will be fully saved, redeemed, and perfected by the thing they suffer on the plane of flesh and the plane of soul. And when the Moorish American national has conquered carnal things, this garb of flesh will then have served its purpose well, and it will fall and be no more. Did we pick up on the measure? Notice it spoke of cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun. Now we know there can't be rule unless some law is established. In ancient Kemet, they referred to this as ma'atic law. They called it truth and right. We call it harmony, truth, balance, right, order, and justice, as our ancestors did. We call it justice, mercy, love, and right. But when we go further, listen, it says cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun, and the spirit of the mighty Allah who rule the solar stars are his protectors, his guide, and they will lead to victory. So if we were to understand the connection to cherubim, seraphim, in the spirit of the mighty Allah, all we have to do is reflect on That is special drawing that's going across the bottom of the screen. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of Moorish America empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the grand body of Moorish America. Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. See, we don't live in a realm of spookism, where we don't comprehend, the measure of cherubim and seraphim. These are also degrees of unfoldment into our self-mastery. We unfold through the degrees of being swift angels into cherubim and ascend into the realm of seraphim. Right? These are 3 degrees of unfoldment in relation to self-mastery. But in relation to dealing with the law and the conformity and the confirmation that we're speaking of, cherubim and seraphim is a personification of Sheik and Chairman. Oh yeah, we don't play with this truth. And the spirit of the mighty Allah is our prophet working from the plane of the soul. Now don't get it twisted. And Brother Shaheed said that Allah was the prophet. We know what the deific tie is. We know what it means to be adept. And we know that Allah speaks to man through man. And so if our prophet is working from the plane of soul, then surely he is doing the work of our Father God Allah. Anytime Allah wanted to bring a message to a people that were hard-headed, mean, stiff-necked, and rebellious, he always sent a man. He sent one that had the wisdom, which was greater than those whom they had come to, so that special one would be able to elevate them. This is why our holy prophet took that attribute, El-Ali, which is the most high, the most exalted to ever be raised from amongst us. So if that ain't the spirit of the mighty Allah at work, then what is? At times, what name do we use to refer to the great God as? Allah. He that is within you is greater than he that is within the world. So once you understand this right here, if Allah is the greatest, the Allah that is within you is greater than that which is within the world, is not then the master more honorable than its walls? Or the master of the house? So we're talking about the speaker. We're talking about the spirit. We're talking about the living manifestation in supreme reality of the great God as he personifies his attributes through those whom he chooses or whom he wills, through deific tie. So now that we understand that the spirit of the mighty Allah is working through our prophet from the plane of soul, then this removes all doubt, right? That rules the station of the sun and the spirit, of the mighty Allah who rule the solar stars. Listen, are his protectors and his guide. We know that Allah is Al-Hadi. Al-Hadi is an Arabic word which means the guide. But we know that there are those who are rightly guided because they receive truth and right guidance. And these are the ones who have come on the manifest in this new era in time to uplift us, to bring us out of that state of being somebody else's property, out of the state in which we have been found in, which has to do not with the geographical location, but the state of mind, the mindset. We just had a class dealing with this special drawer that we had been found in, thinking that we was Negroes, thinking that we was black people, thinking that we was colored people, thinking that we had basically a destiny of being demarcated, an Ethiopian-like thought pattern. Nothing can be further from the truth if you know what the truth is. So understanding that when we see the deific tie between cherubim, seraphim, and the spirit of the mighty Allah, and we look at this in the light of the Grand Sheik and the Chairman empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America, and we understand that this is where your protection and your guidance come from, then it makes sense why every word the prophet spoke is spirit, and we had better take heed. There is no room for playing, but it's a lot of room for growth. So looking at it from this aspect, we'll never see Act 1 the same again. Act 1 is the government. Act 1 is in line with the celestial government. Act 1 is in line with the cosmic laws of divinity. So we move accordingly. We don't move according to our own whim. We don't move because we do whatever it is that we think we want to do without dealing with what we call Ma'atic law. Everything we do is divinely calculated. Everything we do is mathematically inclined. There's a formula to everything it is that we demonstrate. Because we know mathematics, living mathematics, is the true language of the Asiatic. Islam. So this is a powerful demonstration. So when we talk about being uplifted, we're talking about regaining our lost estate, our heritage. Masterminds are able to trace themselves back, and thus they know. You got to look at this, Moorish kin. We have been given the amanna. And the amanna in the Arabia, or the Arabic, has to do with the trust. Because it was man who refused to stand down when the great God Allah offered the trust. It was man who stuck his chest out and said, I got this. So when we get into the aspect of dealing with being Lord of the plane of, manifest, of protoplast, of mineral, of plant, of beast, what does this really mean? Because we say Allah is the Lord of all the worlds. So if man is the Lord of all the plane of things made manifest, including all of what we mentioned in protoplast, mineral, plant, beast, we getting at something now when it comes to that deific time. So the plane of manifest, what's in the plane of manifest? What potential is in the plane of manifest that you may extract something out of it, that it may be useful to you, that it may be beneficial to you? Ask yourself that question. What's in that of the native plane of protoplast that you can find something in protoplast and extract something out of that? And something out of that would become beneficial to you. What is in the native plane of the mineral that you may extract something out of that you may benefit from it? And the same can be said about plant, beast. And I think that we would say then, this is a science, which is a living manifestation. Our science is a living manifestation, a power that exerts itself for the will of the user. So how are you exercising your will? Do you even know how to exercise the will? There's only one way to exercise the will. And you exercise that will by linking it up with the deific will, which is the source of your divinity and your will. So we got it right here. Willie Lynch had a foolproof method on making you a Negro. Willie Lynch had a foolproof method on making you a slave. Well, we got a foolproof method in making you a God. You see? And all it has that is free too. All it takes is a little bit of hard work and dedication, because we know that we are the strength of the great God Allah made manifest, because thought is that manifest as it represents strength. The love thought that the prophet brought, right? So we can't take Act 1 for granted. Neither can we take Chapter 1 for granted. Not after all this clarity that we just brought on the manifest. In every part of the law that we have been given, if we pay close attention to our divine constitution and bylaws, we will see the connection right here in these lessons that we've been given. The exegesis and explanation or, interpretation of these things are already in what it is that has been brought. This is why our holy prophet said, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. All you got to do is take it and save yourself. What are the master words that are used in this portion that we are drawing from right now? The master words that are used here are birthrights, lost estate, heritage. Birthrights belong to people who have the right of birth. A lost estate has been taken for someone that once possessed it. Heritage is something that has to do with being able to link yourself to the family of nations. Oh man. So now we see, when we go into our divine constitution and bylaws, and we close out and we deal with the concept of government, we understand what's being mentioned in our chapter on the religion. Ayat 10, the providence of Allah is ever all his works. He ruleth and directed with infinite wisdom, and he had instituted laws for the government of the world. He had wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature conforming to his will. What is the providence of Allah? It has to do with the fortune of Allah. It has to do with predestination. It has to do with creative fate. All of that is governed under the providence of the great God Allah. So the providence of Allah and everything that is governed by Allah is ever all his works. So your work, when you have your will in line with the deific will, if it's aligned, if there's a proper alignment going on, then your works are ever all his works. He ruleth and directed with infinite wisdom. Then we just say, we just told you, how, the spirit of the great God Allah, the mighty God Allah, is ruling. He ruleth and directed with infinite wisdom, not worldly wisdom, infinite wisdom. And he hath instituted laws for the government of the world. And this is what we're really striving for. We here now trying to get our people to understand why the prophet said he was going to lead the European here enough here just long enough to teach the European. Well, he gonna leave the European here par himself just long enough to teach you how to run a government. So once you're able to run your government, then we can go beyond that and end up being a capital empire dominion again. We're going to have a government of the world. Because Allah will be ruling through the prophet from the plane of soul, and even us, the grand body. Goodness gracious. He hath wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature conforming to his will. So it ain't hard to live by the law, because the law is your essence. He has wonderfully varied it in you. Everything in creation by its nature is to be at one through deific will with the great God Allah. This is a wonderful thing. Fearlessly and marvelously art thou made. And each by his nature conforming to his will. So it is our nature to conform to the will of the great God Allah. We don't submit to the will. We conform to the will. Submission to the will in most cases is because you have been made to submit. You have been rebellious. You have been in opposition to the supreme reality. But when you talk about conforming to the will, you're talking about actually becoming that, becoming one with that. This is why we say we don't submit to the will, we conform to the will. A Muslim is not one in submission to the will. A Muslim is one who is the will of the great God Allah. Allah speaks to man through man. Allah has ever utilized man to exercise his will. So we are instruments. We are tools. So this is a powerful demonstration, family, when we understand it from that aspect. You know, it don't get no plainer than the truth. This is the uniting of chapter 1 and act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. That's what we intend to do right now in this special class. Uplift our people again from gratifying the lower self. Uplifting our people from being comfortable in Hotel Les Miserables. In other words, the house of misery. We are here to uplift our people. Huh? Our brother Tyrese L. say 2 hell and 5 fail. That's right. What is he referring to? He's talking about them 5 foes. He's talking about that inverted thought pattern. So when that star that has fallen, which is most cases in reference to the ego, when it is turned right side up, then there's a completion. Because 5 and 2 become 7. But as long as there's a falling 5, we know cherubim and seraphim going to be on the manifest. And the unity of cherubim and seraphim in their oneness is most definitely an expression of the spirit of the Almighty God Allah. This is a powerful measure. And this is how it is on the macrocosmic level, as well as the microcosmic level as it relates to our consulates in Moorish America. See, we're not here to play with our people. We're not here to talk just for the sake of talking. We're here to teach our people so that they may learn to be themselves. So yes, this is the uniting of chapter 1 and act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. Don't matter where you think you are along the way. We don't care if you're a part and parcel of the prophet's lawfully chartered organization. We've already claimed you. But have you claimed yourself? Have you proclaimed your nationality before the government in which you live? Because we already know, living under the concept of the auspices of occupied America, that ain't living. I don't care how much you try to gas yourself up to believe that you living, because somebody done told you they done made it great again. Somebody told you, well, this is the government the prophet was talking about. Well, you want to accept that, but you want to act like you don't hear the prophet saying he was going to lead the European here long enough to teach you how to run a government. It's simple. He didn't say, I'm going to lead the European here long enough to teach you how to run the United States government. He didn't say that. He said, I'm going to lead the European here long enough to teach you how to run a government. And if he intended that it be the one that it is that a lot of these Moors like to claim in the lawfully chartered organization, then he would have said that. A government is different than the government. You understand? So stop letting these people fleece you and tell you lies because they want to control you. Freedom is not a game, but some of our people just plain love slavery. How is it going to be good and bad for you at the same time, Moors? How you going to get up here and talk all this hoorah and all that mud, about how you suffering and about how Rome ain't treating you right? And you don't have the courage. You don't have the gall enough to muster up enough strength when it comes to the thought pattern. You have fear of thinking free thoughts. You so much dependent upon massa. You are so in fear that he's going to take you off the count. Well, he's taking you off the count anyway. He's taking you off the count when he feeds you. He's taking you off the count when he teach you. He's taking you off the count when it comes to dealing with breaking up your family. So what is there to fear? What is there to lose but your chains? And most importantly, the chains on your brains. Huh? What you scared of? You ain't scared to kill each other? You ain't scared to take your people off the chance and account and behead each other and talking about I stand unrivaled. I'm a head buster. I'm a killer. I'll take you off the count. Something is wrong with that picture, family. And we're not here to speak radical. We're telling you the truth. But sometimes when you speak the truth, those who, are pretty much, I ain't going to say what I started to say, but, some of those who, just say the ones who like to wear their tutus. When you tutu raise and somebody get to talking about, some real uprising, so to speak, when it comes to consciousness, all of a sudden you get scared then. You got some sense then. You want to worry about what Master gonna do to you. All of y'all fake and phony as far as I'm concerned. And I ain't speaking of our good Moors. I'm talking about the ones that's out here talking that noise. The enemy of their people, but ain't got no courage to stand up for their people. They faking, they phony, they unrighteous pretenders. And justice will catch them. But the main measure, family, is if we don't live by our law, then we're going to die by somebody else's law. Yeah, you know what? You don't want to live by the divine constitution and bylaws of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the supreme laws I'm talking about. You don't want to live like that, then you're going to die under the 10 Commandments. You're going to die under somebody else's law. We ain't going to be the one killing you. We ain't here to take you off the count. But you know that ain't living. And if it ain't living, then you must be dead in the head. Paralyzed from the neck down. Or did I say above the neck or cut above the neck down? Because if you don't free the mind, then we know ain't nothing else followed. Ain't nothing else coming up out of that. If you ain't got nothing to think with, then you already know you burn up from the start. You can't give what you don't have. You can't teach what you don't know neither. I don't care how good you try to make it sound. Trying to put Moorish teaching in a Christian garb. Man, people better stop playing. Prophet already told you you're going to get ground to powder. So when we understand what it means to find the reality in following our own laws, embracing our own grand national seal, embracing our own grand national emblem, our own national flag, divine constitution and bylaws, declaration and proclamation of status and jurisdiction. When you're able to embrace that, when you become man enough and woman enough to embrace that, freedom will fully materialize. But if not, the worst is yet to come. So we are here to be about the business of our Father's work. We are here to teach our people what it means to really be liberated. Ask yourself, what have those who claim to be a part and parcel of our Prophet's lawfully chartered organization, what have they done to date that has freed our people? We ain't trying to be funny. We just asking the question. What have they done, family? How have they freed you? Huh? Show me an MST of A that freed somebody. We ain't trying to attack them. I'm just asking you a question. Show me one that have freed somebody and really liberated them. I'll wait. Show me a Grand Sheik in the MST of A that freed somebody. And we give honors to our family. We just got to stop playing, people. It's either about self-determination and self-government or self-damnation and self-destruction. There ain't no in-between. Either free or you're a slave. You can't have it both ways. So, we ain't going to keep going on and on. We said what we need to say. It don't take long to tell the truth. We just want our family to embrace their destiny and unfold into their full potential. Not because we would will it to be so, but because this is what we owe to our ancestors. Those who died in their own feces, defecation and urination, who never got a chance to even see what above deck looked like, those who jumped overboard and end up becoming seafood, never even made it to these shores to experience the horrific treatment that we experienced. And those who made it here and all they ever know was running for their life. All they ever know was being lynched and hung. All they ever know was being killed and calling a European massa. And when they died, when they left the plane of things made manifest, that's all they knew. And here we are, we think we got the luxury to sit here and be disrespectful to those who literally gave their lifeblood, while most of our people sitting here acting like cowards, scared to be free. I'm telling you, I don't mean it. I'm telling y'all done got me, man, I'm so turned up right now at this time. Like my chairman, I got both of my pant legs rolled up right now. You know, so we want to be grateful and show some gratitude, you know, without the attitude. I told my chairman I was going to use that. You know, we want to show our gratitude, what it means to embrace ourselves as being a nation. This is the exhuming of a nation, people. We love you. Don't let nobody else tell you nothing different. We ain't the ones that's speaking against the prophet. We're not speaking radical against what the prophet spoke and taught and what he brought us. We're not speaking radical against his lawfully chartered organization. But we ain't sugarcoat nothing to be your friend. Because we done held out the olive branch, literally. In social media, I've been holding out the olive branch for almost 20 years now. That's almost how long I done been in my government. Time fly real quick, too. I done almost been in the government literally 20 years now. And I've been knocking on the doors of various NGOs, knocking on the doors of the MST of A, knocking on the doors of the NOI, knocking on the doors of the 5%ers, knocking on the doors of the Hebrew Israelites, knocking on the doors of the New Wabians, knocking on the doors of those who claim they are Christians and Masons and Shriners and everything else. And all they have ever done in this time span is fight tooth and nail. But the prophet said that none of them can win. And we know as good brothers and sisters who have a consciousness that come up all out of all of those different circles. You got brothers and good brothers and sisters, you know, in all of those bodies. But a lot of our people have been run amok. They've been misled. They've been led astray. They've been had, like our brother Malcolm used to say. Because whatever it is that you stand on, family, if it doesn't teach you oneness with your people, then it's garbage. And I'm not going at any of those who are master teachers. I'm talking about those who are misrepresenting the teachings that they came through. Because every last one of them I seen paid homage to the prophet. But if you think that your body is more grandiose than the unity of our people, you part of the problem. I don't care what title you use. I don't care who you call yourself or who you claim to represent. If what you stand on doesn't give you the room to embrace your people, it's garbage. I'm saying that, and I want you to take it however you take it, because I mean that from the core of my being. It's garbage if it ain't showing us how to come together as oneness. If it's teaching us that we got to be divided and disunited, it's trash. And it's part of the problem. The only thing that can unite us is government. But you got y'all out here giving all these grandiose speeches about how you're being mistreated by Rome and Rome did this to you. And we say, well, come on into your own government then. And all of your teachers and leaders talked about self-government. And you ain't following their instruction. Every last one of them spoke on government. And now one of y'all caught that particular measure. Because no, y'all believe in a spiritual government. Y'all believe that you're supposed to be a religious corporation. And that's it. And that's why you've been catching hell. And you're going to continue to catch hell until you embrace your destiny. So we love you, family. Like I said, don't let nobody else tell you nothing different. But playtime is over. So we just say gratitude to our family. Like I said, it don't take long to tell the truth. You know, I said what I said. I meant what I said. And if I said anything that was offensive to you, that wasn't my intention, to offend you. I intended to wake you up, but I didn't intend to hurt you. So anything I said that may have been offensive to you, to where it hurt your feelings so bad, more than Massa been hurting your feelings, then I ask, you know, that you bear with me. But anything I said that may have been a benefit to you, and it may inspire you to do better, I take no claim of that. I give praises to the great God Allah for utilizing me as a vehicle and a vessel to express his will and his way. So that being said, Moorish kin, at this time, what we're going to do, we're going to open up the floor so that we can hear from our Moorish kin. Star 6 your phone. Islamism without the schism.
Islam.
We don't want no crickets up in here. Islam, Brother Marvin Edwards Bay.
That's funny. As soon as I said that, that's what you said. I'm saying, wait a minute. Do I sound like a cricket?
No, Jimmy.
Gratitude, God, man.
Islam, man.
Yes, this is Dr. Marvin Edwards Bay, Consul General of Texas. Rising, giving all praise to the great God of Allah, giving highest honors to his prophet, our prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Give high honors to our theocratic government, our Moorish American government. Give high honors to our Act 1. I give high honors to all of our officials. I give high honors to this class, our Moorish Prospectus class, as well as I give honors to you, Dr. Shedu Minti Moheti Septuel, also known as the Commission Adept Arafat, for hosting and instructing this most powerful class. I give honor to those that aided in bringing forth this class this evening. Give honor to everything that is Moorish. And, I always say that's everything that the prophet brought to save us as a nation of people. Our flag, our seal, our emblem, our divine constitution, our Holy Quran, our Book of Ali, our 101 and 102s, our exhuming of a nation. All of our divine revelation, I give honor. Give honor to the forerunner of our prophet, Dr. Marcus Musa Garvey L., as well as I give honors to the ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon. We are the return of the ancient ones. And this is a powerful class. And yeah, you were crunk. But that was the God in you. And it's good to hear. Good to hear you, as always. Reflecting on the subject matter. I believe it's. I wrote it down. I did all this writing. Oh, the uniting of chapter 1 to act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American nationals. Wow, that's powerful there. As I was listening, I was connected to everything you were saying, and you mentioned about you didn't want to seem radical, but if the truth is radical, then I'd say so be it. But, because many don't want the truth. They run from the truth. They hide from the truth. They cover up the truth. But here in this Moorish American government, we ain't nothing but the truth. And I'm just grateful for being here, being a part of this divine and national movement. Like the host would say, why must we wait? Why must we go anywhere? Because the great God is everywhere. And as we, like you say, conform to the will of the great God Allah by connecting, our will by our consciousness. And it's all about the consciousness. We can say one thing, or this and the other, but if we are not consciously, conforming to this will, then I don't know what one is doing, because that's what everything is all about. The conscience of the great God Allah. And he put that in us. He's put that spirit seed within the soil of our soul. And we know that the actions of our soul is the thinking, the reasoning, the willing, the understanding, and the remembrance of why we're here. We came here for a purpose. And many of our people, we think that we got time to play. Like you said, we ain't playing. There's no room for playing. There's room for growth. And we always allow our people room to grow, because we know that the great God is within each and every one of us. We just have to wake up to it. And this truth that you're bringing today, and that's the Moorish American government is bringing every day, is what one needs to wake up, what one needs to hear the truth and become the truth. Because we know that prior to hearing these truths, hearing this Moorish American government, it was sort of like a facsimile. That's a copy. But then sometimes those copies don't come out clear enough. So we just want our people to know that here in this Moorish American government today, whatever question that you have, whatever idea that you think you might have of what a government is, it is not, calling the United States our government, even though we know we're being occupied, our more, but we know that within us, within the spirit of us, is the great God, and as above, so below. So in time, Allah is leading on, and victory is sure. So this is how I see my job is to stay conscious, to stay aware, to continually study, and keep myself ready. But the prophet said, if I were you, I'd get ready before made to do so. Because if you ain't ready, get ready. And if you're ready, stay ready. So that's what it's all about. Staying ready, being conscious, being ready to move when it's time to move. So don't be dragging your feet. If our Moorish American government need anything, call yourself a Moorish American and you want to drag your feet, you're too busy. No, something is wrong with that picture. But, to each his own. If you are aware of your own, then that's all that needs to be said concerning that. But I'm grateful for being here, for being part of this divine and national movement, and just looking to find anything I can do to aid and assist. And with that, I'm saying gratitude for allowing me to speak. Islam and peace.
Gratitude for your measure, Grand Man. Yes, sir. You have most definitely demonstrated as the faithful is to demonstrate, brother. Minus doubt and contradiction. Allah is leading on and victory is sure. Well, all right. Islam, is there any other more who would like to come forth? After that grand measure, our brother Marvin Edwards Bay brought on the manifest. I know you're crunk up now.
Islam.
Uh-oh. Y'all done messed up. Sister Curta Bay is up in here in the house.
Islam. I tell you, wow. Woo-wee. Honors has already been given, but I give Allah the praise, and I give honors to our holy prophet, and I give honors to all my government officials, and I give honors to you, God, man. I tell you, Allah has used you to speak to us through you. I tell you, you really have. I don't know about nobody else, but you really have fired me up. I tell you, because just looking at when I was trying to get everything right, and but when you was given the subject, that your subject is the uniting of Act 1 and Chapter 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. And when you went into that measure, God, man, I tell you, I just, for me, I just like, that is so powerful. Just your subject, that the uniting of Act 1 and Chapter 1. I just got to get by myself and just meditate on that and just soak it all in, because it's so much information in that, what you just said right there. And then you went on to share with us about how you talked about, I liked that part too, when you talked about how Willie Lynch had a foolproof plan to make us Negroes. But we here in this divine movement, in this Moorish American government, you say, we got a foolproof plan to make you a god, to bring you back to your original state, to where you have fallen from. Why, anybody in their right mind, why would you choose to be a Negro? Why would you choose to be governed by somebody that really hate you? They want to keep you under their feet. Why would you want to be under somebody that misuse you, abuse you, rape you, don't want to tell you the truth, just want you to be a slave? I don't understand that concept. And I know my prophets say you suffer from mental slavery. If that ain't mental slavery, we here can make it. And see, God, man, see, you done got me fired up too. We here in this government, we can restore you back to where you have fallen from. Because see, you was a God, you was a God in the beginning, but you didn't forgot who you were. And we're here to remind you, like the God man said, we're here to remind you and bring you back to your original state. Why would you choose anything else other than that? I don't understand. And another thing you talked about, God, man, how some Moors are out there misrepresenting our prophets, teachers, and since I've been in this government, I come in 2018, and then I've seen a lot. I seen them come, and I seen them go, and I seen them some come back, and I'm looking at things that's going on, and I'm trying to figure out, why would you try to take the people away from something that's good, from something that's going to help them? Why would you try to take them out of a divine movement of the great God Allah? I don't understand that, because see, when you do that, you think you hurting us, you think you coming against the officials. and our chairman and Grand Sheik and Assistant Grand Sheik, you think you coming against them, but you're not. You coming against the great God Allah. And anybody in their right mind, you have to be something wrong with your mind if you are brave enough to try to come against the great God Allah. And you also talk about, and I can remember seeing people, you know, when they're trying to come against the officials in this government and try to talk negative talk against our officials and things, and then you they think that you don't know no better. But when you stand up and say, you know, I'm not accepting it, I don't believe it, then they raise their voice, get mad at you, because you won't believe their lies, because you won't believe what they say. Get mad at you because you got sense enough to know where you are. But get mad at you because you got sense enough to know that Allah is the one that put you here, and you ain't going nowhere until he take you out. But they get mad at you because you stand on that, because you know where you supposed to be, because you know who made you. You know that you are one with the great God Allah. Get mad at you because they been here longer than you have now. You just come. But they get mad at you because you got a little bit of sense, and they been here and they ain't got none yet. But they'll get mad at you. Oh God, man. Oh, wow. This is a very powerful class. I tell you, I just got to go back and listen. Like I say, I like to just get quiet and just meditate on all that you brought up. Definitely gonna go back and listen to the playback. Just get quiet and just soak it in, and just let the prophet just minister to me all that he was giving me, because you gave me, it was so much, God, man. I tell you, I got to digest it now, because this was a powerful class. Gratitude, God, man, for letting me share. Peace and love.
Gratitude and peace and love to you as well, Goddess and Queen, for all that you do, all that you've done, and all that you will continuously do. Praise be to Allah, Islamism without the schism. We just say gratitude for that divine attitude. Islamism without the schism. Well, all right, the floor is still open. I told y'all done turned Sister Benjamin Curtis up. Islam. All right. Is there any other more who would like to come forth and exercise their fire? Let the world know you're alive, Moorish America. We ain't sleeping. The prophet told us, he said, Moors, you sleep too much. Wake up, you sleepy-headed Moors. Islam. Oh, you mean to tell me we want to have some Jimmy the Crickets in here? After all that fire our sister just brought? I know good and well we ain't got no Moors up in here. We gonna start drafting. Islam. Okay, Islam. This Moorish America. Islam, can you hear me, Grand Man?
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear Grand Man. Good grand class.
Okay, well, you got the flow.
Grand class. That's no Grand Sheik. This is good class. This is Sean Washington Hamilton AL from the Michigan Territories. I rise and give all praise to the great God Allah. I give all honors to my prophet, last prophet, Noble Dry Ali. I give all honors to the democratic Moorish government. I give all honors to the democratic Moorish government flag. I give all honors to Mount Scarby. I give all honors to the prophet's lessons, the Book of Fire, 101s, 102s, the Holy Quran. This is a grand class. Oh, wow. Wow. Speaking of, I've been saying this. When the when the prophet said, I'm going to leave you long enough here to teach the European how to teach you how to run a government, he was talking about our government. I didn't know that 3 years ago, and I just found that out. last year he was talking about this said government, not the United States. Because we know they think because they governing on that dollar bill. That's it's two governments. They using our seal. That's the Albion nation right on that side with the eagle at. And we gave them 13 colonies. So and people might see the stars on that eagle. Gave them colonies. It was French, Irish. I think it was the British. You know what? And they weren't even governing none at the time. And they stepped their boundaries. So they was on another side. And I guess when we fell, they took over the federal government. But we started all that. It's in this government. Everything in this government. We was everything. We was the founders. Our ancient Muslim fathers. And I get that too out here sometimes. Y'all ain't making no moves. What the guys are saying. I get that sometimes. I say all is well. And I say to myself, I ain't gonna debate nobody. It's all good. I know it's a government. I gotta govern myself. I'm gonna keep it stick and move. And they looking at it. These unconscious Moors. They looking at the corporations. Looking at pipe Congress and all that. District of Columbia. They got all them departments. The Senate. All that stuff. That's what they looking at. But they not even in governing us. Now I said to myself, they not even the government over here. They de facto. Politics and all that. That's for them. And it's they foreigners. They not from over here. They sitting on our land. United States are not. They're not paying no taxes over here. They came over here, to get their freedom. Like we was talking about there. They turned around and that was Camby. They enslaved us. We let them in here, and they United States in debt with the Moors. They in debt with us. Karmic debt. They owe us everything. What they took from us. And they modern day Europeans. They not a true government nowhere. So they not even sovereign. No lands. We the owners of the right, everything, the rightful owners, from North America, South, Central, the Joanna Islands, the Atlantis, those are all our territories. And people can say what they want to say about this government. They can say what they want to say, and I be saying that too, man, myself. They got to stop playing with the profit, man. This ain't no joke. And I be saying this too. I can't play with this divine constitution. I'm not gonna get the wrath for Allah. I can't play with this stuff. What the prophet gave us. I gotta govern us. We gotta govern ourselves. We can't be a beggar nation, waiting on them to take care of us. And like we were saying earlier, you don't want them Europeans to govern us. They're gonna mislead us. They mislead us in education. They give us poison food. Their money is poison. It ain't worth nothing. But, Islam, gratitude, peace and love.
Islam, gratitude, grand man. Peace and love. Yeah, we want to say honors to you for that drawing. We just want to make a correction, though. They never took control of a federal government. They created a federal government. Because remember, our government has always been theocracy. Not a democracy, not a republic. Grand measure, brother, Islam. Is there any other Moor who would like to come forth and exercise their fire? All right, now I done gave you all this time on this flow right here. You know what? I tell you what. We through playing. Where our Grand National Secretary of State at? I know she got control of that board. We finna start drafting some of these Moors Grand National Secretary of State.
Right here.
Islam.
Assistant Grand Sheik.
Islam, call him if you see him on the board, Grand National Secretary of State.
Okay. How about Consul General of Iowa, Dr. Bati Bey, going in line?
Islam.
Bati Bey, you available more?
Islam.
Praise the law.
Islam. First of all, the ride you give our man first stand out. Understood the proper honest style through the government. A royal council, our flag, steel emblem, our divine constitution, the Swift Angels, most of these citizens alike. Understood all the Moors that are here in attendance, partnered by them. I'm out of town right now. Islam to the measure, and one of the things that I look at when we're saying I gotta look at the thing again. One second. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of Moorish America are proud to make law in the fourth clause of the system of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. And we're saying that is a separation. That is a separation from what they got, but at the, what I have, talking about it, Islam. Sorry, gather my thoughts real quick. When we're saying that, we're showing that we have a head of state. We have everything that a government has, as far as leadership, as far as flag, steel, emblem, divine constitution. We have religion. We have everything it takes. And when people look at that, most people are looking for the only thing that they see on a regular basis. And that's where the biggest misconception comes in. People they want what they see, or what they're going through to mimic what the Western world has done, or Western world has done. They ask you, they tell you, because I've been through this. I go through this rather frequently, about if this is your government, how come so is how come they got their police, where your police at, or where your court system at, or where's these are all the misconceptions, and that's why I posted that thing that Fred Hampton has said. A lot of times when you're building, a lot of people you're not just throwing something together. People don't understand how long it takes to build anything if they ain't, especially when it comes down to yourself. You first off you have to show and prove and be worthy of the very frequency that you're trying to get to. You have to show and you have to vibrate on that frequency. So when you say freedom is an all around construct. It's not just free on paper, because God, when we pass out the flesh, He ain't gonna check to see, oh, you done made the trust, oh, you done made this. They don't care in the spirit world. That's neither here nor there. The freedom comes from the state of mind. The freedom comes from that you're not bogged down by this earthly plane. That's the freedom. So it don't matter what he, she, them, they, her, who. It don't matter what all that takes. That's one of the biggest things. Don't you know?
demonstrations is have they cut open out of the put it on the necklace? Did they cut open the heart and see? Because a lot of times they can say what they want to about this Western government and the illusion of power, but here, you know what I'm saying, you feel the love. You get the love. Love is the first key of freedom. Authenticity is the second. Well, they say authenticity comes before that. That vibrates the highest. And we can't be authentic underneath somebody else's government. So we got to fight like, excuse what I'm about to say. We got to fight like hell to get free. And that fight is an everyday thing. It's not no today and then I'm gonna go put my sword down. No, you gotta keep that sword in hand. It don't got no time to rest. I bear witness to that. It don't got no time to rest because they gonna come how they gonna come. Day in, day out. But I stay fighting. I was bred for the fight. I don't care about this concept of flesh. Because I know who I am. I know where I came from. I remember coming, them telling me the world is not like it used to be. That people, like the prophet said, we got hard-headed, stiff-necked. I bear witness to that. I'm not just saying it because it sounds good. I'm saying it because this is my recollection of my thoughts from my past lives. So when we say we got a government, we don't need to look like them. It's going to look opposite of what we see in the Western world. It's not going to be, we're not going from the muscle. We're going from the mind. We're going from the heart and the mind. That's two different type of government. And the saying is a spiritual government, as above, so below. What's in the mind also manifests in the heart. And when you govern the thought process, then you govern the manifest. You know what I'm saying? And that's all in the same, that all comes out through you. You know, as man thinketh, so he becomes. So whatever you think, you're going to produce. And a lot of times, you know, if one's not aware of the processes what it goes through to build, in order to build something got to be destroyed too. You can't have one without the other. When it comes down to and it's not saying that we gonna come out here with bombs and guns. That's not what I'm saying. It's crumbling before your face. You see it, and you still want to hold on to it. I want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of the Western world. I can't stand it. When you see these people and they know what they're doing, they look you in the eye and they know what they're doing, and they still decide to do it. When you even after you show them the truth, where they messed up, and they don't care. So you know that's why I say I've been free, and I don't need no paperwork to tell me that. Allah already ordained that in my spirit. That's written in my nature. God eternal within the body. That lets me know right there I'm free. I've been free. Everything else is just me getting stronger. Because when we rule and we are coming back into power, when it's our time, we have to have the strongest of the strong. And I'm not talking about survival of the fittest. I'm talking about to maintain this earthly realm. Because we are the vanguards. You know, and with that, I leave in the coming peace as well.
And gratitude for that measure, grand man. Praise be to Allah, Islamism without the schism. All right, Grand National Secretary of State, where they at?
All right, let's see. How about the National Assistant Grand Mufti, Dr. Justice Albay? All right, what about the Fox Bay tribe over there in Georgia?
Islam.
Oh, there you go. Dr. Justice Albay, you got the floor. More gratitude.
Oh, praise Allah. Honor to our Holy Prophet Nova. Praise Allah. Honor to our Holy Prophet Nova, darling. Honor to Allah.
a National Grand Sheik and I'm a National Grand Chairman of Moorish America and empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the President Grand Body of Moorish America. In honor to our host tonight, I'm a National Assistant Grand Sheik. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to Assistant Grand Sheik in all affairs that they're important to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known before the citizens of Moorish America. Well, you know what the prophet did say? I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. I take it to save thyself. And he said, if I can get you to thinking, you'll save yourself. And just to give my quick portion of understanding, the first thing come to me is who made you? Allah, the great God of the universe. And, you know, I'll listen to the class, and with my understanding, you know, I would say this, that, you know, you just have to continue to always, no matter what, is trust the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And you know that Allah, the great God of the universe, sent for all our earthly salvation that we set these laws and lessons. And when you are getting these laws and lessons, and as I always say, you got to focus on moving them dark walls and continue to study your divine constitution, your Moorish American prayer. Because if you get away from these laws and lessons like our National Grand Chairman, I've said it so many times, you get away from everything. It's just like, it's really not just till you just turning your back on the Holy Prophet. You're turning your back on your own government, your own nation, your own people, your own land, your own flag. Everything that the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought you, you're turning against it. Just like you be turning against your chairman, your sheik, your assistant grand sheik, all your officials. This is what you're doing when you don't focus on what the prophet said. And the prophet let us know the only way through the fire is you got to go through the fire. And this is what we have to do. And, you know, our assistant grand sheik have made it clear many times. Don't buck, just do the work and be faithful. There ain't no need to be whispering here and there about your brother and sister or what needs to be done in the Moorish American government. Do the work. That's why the prophet have everybody where they are on their post. And we honor our post and keep the prophet out front, we won't have any problem. And that shouldn't be any problem. But for any of us, including myself, especially myself, since I'm running my mouth and I'll be done, if any of us break the law or buck, we'll be removed by Allah and the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And keep in mind, the prophet said that the National Grand Sheik, the National Grand Chairman of Moorish America, are empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the prophet, the Grand Body of Moorish America. But please don't forget, we got Assistant Grand Sheik as well. So that should tell you something right there. Keep the prophet out front. With that being said, listen to your prophet. Because it can always be about our Holy Prophet, because the great God of the universe sent for all our earthly salvation. If we get these laws and lessons, I'm going to tell the National Assistant Grand Sheik for the class tonight. Islam.
Gratitude to your brother Justice for that drawing. Praise be to Allah for all that you do, Assistant National Grand Mufti. Gratitude. Islam. All right, Grand National Secretary of State.
What about Kamad Shubay out of Mount Clemens? Are you available more? Consul General?
Yes, my Grand Secretary of State. Yes, I am. First, I want to rise. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Gratitude.
Gratitude. First, I want to rise and give all praise to the great God of Allah and honors to the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to the Moorish American government. Honors to its officials and its citizens. And honors to the Moorish perspective. Well, let's see, Moors. We're here in our own government, and I wanted to address a statement by a previous Moor. A lot of times we run into various different brothers and sisters on the streets, and we're speaking on measures. Yeah, I've heard that before. Well, what is the government doing, this, that, and the other? And I'm going to camelback off of that. Our government is a theocratic government, and is not like anything that has been seen in terms of a lot of people are looking for material things and money
money and focused on military and banking and this, that, and the third. Moors, first of all, the first order of instruction is to purify our hearts and minds, because you remember coming out of slavery and the different issues that we are dealing with coming out of slavery mentally is our primary and first issue is to address the mind and clean it up. How do we do that? Understanding that there are two selves, the higher self and the lower self, and understanding that God is not outside of ourselves. There is no divinity is not outside of ourselves, Moors. It's within. We just have to continually work on ourselves day in and day out. Sincerely, Moors, all this back and forth, all this arguing, you have a government. We have everything here. We have the departments. Bring your skills and talents and come home. There's no need. There's no more need for wars. Come home, be in your natural environment. You are a divine being, first and foremost. That's why in one-on-ones, the key number one asks, who made you? With the understanding of that question, it puts you in a particular state of mind. And that's what we're striving to maintain. And we're all here. We have love for you. We do the best that we can. But we have to stop the battle of Moors. The government is here. No organizations, no churches, no fraternity, no sorority is going to save you. We've done this. We've been all up and down all over the place. Get home. Playtime is long over. This is the only place where you can be called a man, by definition. In reality, men and women are within their own governments. You're taught how to beat that in your own government. The United States is not going to teach you nothing. It's going to take you out of your natural state of mind and put you backwards. It's old, it's played out more. It's time to come home. That's my measure, Muslims. Islam.
We appreciate that measure, Muslim. Praise be to Allah. Islamism without the schism. All right, Grand Secretary of the State.
Islam. What about the Fox Bay tribe? Dr. Arthur Lenore Fox Bay, are you available? All right. Islam. Yeah, got it. Islam. Yeah. Gratitude, grand class, beloved. Grand class. Islam, Moorish America. I am Divine Minister Dr. Lenore Fox Bay from the Georgia Territory. Once again, I rise, giving all praises to Allah, highest honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I honor to Moorish American theocratic government. I honor to all of that one, and I honor to everything Moorish. And I honor to our class this evening, great class, praise Allah. In the topic, the uniting of chapter 1 and chapter 2 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. Grand topic. And, chapter 1 is the first chapter. It is a beautiful chapter. And in there, we learn everything that we did not know of ourselves or recall of ourselves until our beloved prophet came. And he says, let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the plane of manifest, of protoclass, of mineral, of plant, of beast. But he gave up his birthright just to gratify his lower self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage. But he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptations manifold. Let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and the spirit of the mighty Allah who rule the solar stars are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. His You know, when we look at these celestial beings, and when our beloved instructor, Dr. Shahid, spoke about, you know, the seraphim and the seraphim and the cherubim represent the Grand Sheik and the chairman. That is so true because they are at the head, Islam. And so these are heavenly beings. You know, these are heavenly beings that are shown to us in visions of the mind that describe, you know, the purity and the cleansing power that we have with us. And these cherubim, it's a celestial being. And these celestial beings are member of second order of angel. And so we have everything we need to keep us on point. The power that our Act 1 has, the power to make law and to enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body, that's all we need. Because no one on planet Earth is able to teach these lessons. No one is able to protect us the way our government protects us. And this is a divine movement for a holy and divine people. And we just want to give praise to Allah and highest honors to our illustrious Prophet Noble Ali. And high honors to our Moorish American theocratic government and all of Act 1 and all of our Swiss angels and muftis and our grand instructors like what we have this evening for keeping us on point. Just want to say praise Allah in gratitude. Islam. Grand class, beloved. Grand class. Peace and love.
Praise Allah and gratitude for you as well, Sister Fox Bay. Islamism. All right, Grand Secretary of the State, Tribe of Endurance, Islam.
Islam, gratitude. What about Dr. Malik El Bay? Islam, are you available more? Islam. I'm Dr. Malik. Emotep El Bay, Divine Minister of Moorish America. And first and foremost, I rise and give praise to Almighty God, Allah, and give it honor to our illustrious love for our Prophet Noble Ali, El Haj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. I want to give honor to our theocratic government of Moorish America. I want to give honor to our Grand National Seal, our Grand National Emblem, our national flag, our divine constitution and dialogue. Special honor to Act 1, all of our officials of Act 1. Give honor to our citizens and give honor to this class, this beautiful grand class. Give a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheik for swinging that scimitar. But, you know, he cut us open, man. He cut our people open, but he sewed them back up. Because the thing is, he gave us the solution. He demonstrated the solution that our people needed. You know, because our people tried everything. Now it's time to come on home. So, you know, the first thing that came to mind as the National Assistant Grand Sheik was talking about, when he was talking about conform, you know, it's about conforming the will. Because I did a demonstration on earlier today, and what I was saying was speaking along those lines of what a Muslim is. And the lesson of Holy Quran came to mind, pay therefore to his wisdom, in honor and veneration, and bow down thyself in humble and submission, obedience to a supreme discretion. The supreme laws has been handed down to us And we understand and know that we are the third and fourth generation who see the good of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's works. So, it's about being steadfast. It's about constantly taking your tools, using them in the workshop of your mind and building character. Building character and being about your Father's work, because we have plenty work to do. And if anybody, take it from me. I know from making my own mistakes and my own shortcomings. So I know it's about purifying your mind, because you cannot bring any bogus materials to this divine government. It ain't gonna happen. You can't build a pure and clean nation of people with bogus material. So you gotta come out of that organizational mentality, because it's not about that. It's about the divine government. It's about government, and that's the order of the day. Islam. Thank you for calling me, National Assistant Grand Sheik, and our Grand Secretary of State, Islam. Gratitude, peace and love.
And gratitude, Brother Malik. We give honors to you, Grand Man, for all that you do. Praise be to Allah for you aiding and assisting your prophet and your government, Islam. Well, all right. Oh, Moorish America woke now. I think they ready, Grand National Secretary of State.
Islam. Well, one last more, that's it.
Islamism, yeah, we'll open the door for one more, because we know it's always one biting at the bit. Islam.
Well, it looks like that would be Dr. Lisa Nicole Moore Bay L, New York.
Oh, Islam, a goddess and queen? Man, come on up in here.
Are you there, goddess? She may be having technical difficulties, but that would be it. That's Assistant Grand Sheik. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Lisa? It's you have the floor, goddess. Gratitude. I don't have anything to say. Well, you can just say Islam and peace. You're glad to be here and praise Allah, Well, Islam and peace. I'm glad to be here. Praise Allah. Bless the Prophet.
Islamism.
Islam.
Gratitude.
Islamism starts.
Peace and love, sister. We love it when you talk clean to us. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, goodness gracious, came to uplift fallen humanity. We want to give honors to all of our Moorish kin, for bringing their measures. It's just been a grand drawing, family. This was a drawing to unite our people. And what better way to do it than understanding that we are a seed that was planted in the soil of soul to unfold. And behold, a vision beautiful. Look at us. So we just say gratitude. Want to give honors to our Grand National Secretary of the State, Sister Shepsut Rakat Ma'at Amputut to come and Bay, for most definitely calling on our Moorish kin. Honors to all of our Moorish kin who brought forth their measures, because what you brought forth may well be what it is that our people needed to hear, the truth. So Islamism without the schism. And at this time, what we're going to do, we're going to call on our officials, starting with our beloved Assistant Grand National Secretary of the State, Sister Alset Amun El. Islam, goddess. Well, all right, we know our sister most likely and most definitely about the business of our Father God Allah. So with that, just give our Grand National Mufti, Dr. Khonshu Mark Heru Bey, a chance to kick the door off the hinges. Islam, you there, Grand Man?
The love.
Islamism without the schism, Muslim.
The love is that's our religion. Cousin of my love is gratitude, man, for bringing forth this powerful demonstration. First rise, giving all adoration, worship, and praise to our Father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, most and most wise. We give the highest honors that we can give to his prophet, our prophet, the last prophet in these days, and in these times, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Savior of humanity. We give honors to his forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We give honors to his government, our government, the Moorish American government, the government in which we live. Give honors to the officials of this said government, divine ministers, the swift angels, our mufti, royal council, our secretaries. We give honors to our citizens, Moorish Americans. Give honors to our flag, divine constitution and bylaws, the Quran, Grand National Seal, our Grand National Emblem, Book of Fire, the exhument of a nation. Honors to everything that is Moorish. We give a special high honors to you, Assistant Grand Sheik, should do a Minty Matthew Shepsey well for bringing forth this grand perspective this evening. Honors to all of our Moorish kin who have spoken before us, Moorish kin that will speak after us. We give honors to you, angels. Continue to give the honors where honors are due and honor all true and divine prophets. Give honors to our ancestors. They have come before us, leading the way. We are them today without doubt or contradiction. No one has the power to change man. It's the sin nature. Praise the law. This we all about unity and unifying. Chapter 1 with our Constitution is grand unfoldment. But to understand, like Chapter 1 tells us that, we got to go through all the ways of life, and that one's going to unfold, the bud unfolds, or the flower. We have much in us, much beauty that we keep bottled up. When the right light shines, the sun is, or the light of the sun shines upon, but opens up. So when the light of truth shines upon us, light of divinity shines upon us, one is able to assimilate that light. We open up to it, open up and show the world our beauty. That's in line with our Constitution, understanding that the Grand Sheik and the Chairman are empowered to laws and enforce laws, assistance of the Prophet, and body of Moorish America. We are taking what is ours in a way that we can only do it. So everybody else is the imitator. There's only one originator. So unifying this thought pattern, unifying our divine instructions. So with what we are beat up of, when we talk about Constitution, we talk about what one is made of, what consistent one. We find ourselves conforming to the will of Allah, but we find ourselves confirming the proof or the prophecy for prophethood of a prophet, because this is what he's saying to her. He said, if you don't believe I'm a prophet, just watch my prophecies. And so as focusing on the light, one starts to unfold, then one is able to go through the exercise of that strength or that thought, defeat the foes, because our story is the story never told. It's the wonderful story that everyone hears to, the underdog, as they call it. Everybody wants to see that one who seems to be at it the worst triumphant.
fail, because it gives hope to all those who are downtrodden, who feel like gotten raw deal in life or a bad hand. There is hope that one can come back from what seems to be the worst. The worst of situations. I don't know if worse is the word, but type of situation that we found ourselves in, where we are now. One can't understand it. They can't understand why we haven't just destroyed ourselves, why we haven't gone insane. We still have a capacity to love and be divine, very face these odds and obstacles. But you can't. You can't tear it up. Just us, but no one on the plane can tear up what we've been brought. Tear you up. Because this demonstration has been ordained by Allah. The time is now, as one said, when we will see the good of His work. No one can stop that. The ones that try to go around it, ones that try to slow it down, there ain't no stopping. And so we draw from that now, I forgot who said that. It was in the 70s or something. There ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. That's where we at. No stopping us now. They're on the move. It's that one on board that train and get on board, and we can go to this destination that's not uncertain or unknown. Because there has to be a point that we all got to make in our own unfoldment, realization that you're accountable, that we're accountable each for our own salvation. So at some point, you got to come to realization that either you where you're supposed to be, or not. If you're there, you got to understand that this is where you're supposed to be. You got to stick with it. Show the discipline, the dedication, sincerity, the second chance that Allah is giving you. Because as the prophet said, I've forgiven you for everything that you've done before me. So the second chance of life, second chance redemption, and being in the eyes of the great God. There ain't nothing to play with, nothing to joke around with, especially if you've been through kind of life and you've been through the situations. I'm sure most of us this call have to get to this point of enlightenment, because pain is us very well. Ain't no teacher like pain. Pain we know it rushes in 1,000 ways at a time, but it brings about some clarity. Y'all shouldn't be doing that. So this ain't the best route. So if we've been to that situation, then we should see this redemption, forgiveness, something that is a blessing and something that we shouldn't scoff lightly at. We shouldn't for granted. It is upon us to do what we got to do, sure that all necessities our nation are looked after, and that it is our duty also to realize that we got ones coming behind us, too, young and yet born, who are innocent, need our protection. Need us to be here so we can keep them from going through the things that we have to go through. So they don't have to, through the sore temptations and mistreatments went through, because we can teach them in love. Still got to get the lesson. It don't have to be so extreme. It don't have to be so traumatizing. That's a gift that we got that we can give, and that wasn't given to us. We should, not be. Some people feel like I did it; they got to go through it. But that's a little petty. Yes, they got to learn responsibility. Yes, they got to learn everything in life ain't easy. They ain't got to experience it like we experienced it. But we could teach them, we could show them masterminds of thinking the dead, better way of life and a better way of doing things. Just upon us to take upon that responsibility in uniting lessons, will of Allah, the instructions, the divine instructions from our prophet with our constitution, what we see that we're made up of, and what we know that we are. And when I talked about the mindset, them two together within the mind and sitting in the perfected temple of man, making it shine, making it do what it's due. That crown jewel breathe that this piece of creation that the world and I don't just say adore, but marvel at. We do the things that we're supposed to do as they unfold into the greatest things that have yet to be seen. As the prophet said, mountains of gold. There's all kinds of stuff that we don't even know about yet because there's still much wisdom to be learned. As to be learning it, and we got it's a grand time and a grand opportunity to get at the forefront. Something that changes is going to change the whole world. And I know a lot of us have been in points where we've seen things like, man, could have jumped on that. We've seen the world change in many ways and had the opportunity to be a part of this Black division. We got the vision. Let us be part of what truly calling our ordination, truly going to bring about on earth and goodwill towards men. So gratitude for this call this evening. That's Assistant Grand Sheik, and gratitude to you, Moorish America, for being here with us. Bless your time, attention, and respect. We love you. Honor, peace.
And gratitude for the measure, National Grand Mufti. We give honors to you for that grand droid. Yes, sir. It don't get no plainer than that truth. Islamism without the schism, and honors to the tribe. Royal Council. All right. Well, let us call back to the floor our National Grand Secretary of the State, Sister Sheptut Rakat Ma'at and Pooh, Tutankhamun Bey. Islam, Goddess and Queen.
Islam, gratitude, grand class. Wow. Islam Moorish kin. First of all, with the rhymes, giving all praises to our Father God Allah, giving honor to our Prophet Noble Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to our Moorish American government, all of our officials, staff, with angels, muftis, divine ministers, most especially our Moorish kin. Giving honor to all those Moors that spoke before me, all those Moors that will speak after me. I want to give a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheik of Moorish America, for opening our meeting according to law and also hosting a grand Moorish perspective class this evening. Giving a special honor to Act 1, also to our National Assistant Grand Secretary of State, Dr. Dendra Nia Kirjabe, for taking registration and reading our subject chapter for the week. Our subject matter, the uniting of Chapter 1 and Act 1 for the purpose of uplifting all Moorish American Muslims. I tell you, Dr. Shaheed, this was such a powerful class, very uplifting. Much gratitude to you. And to all of our family online, we welcome you. When you were speaking about these celestial governments under our divine constitution and bylaws, and also recognizing the fact that we as a people have a covenant with our Creator, our Father God Allah, we also recognize the fact that Act 1 is our divine constitution. And Chapter 1 is dealing with the creation and fall of man, and also the rising of the God-man. And I am so grateful to be here in our theocratic government, to recognize the fact that I have a nationality, to recognize the fact that I am a spirit and a part of the great God Allah. That in itself is a blessing to behold. when we look at the fact that this is a divine and national movement, so there's a balance there. We know what can happen if we go all for the divinity and throw aside the nationality, and vice versa. We gung-ho with the nationality and want to throw the divinity out of the window. There's a balance there, and we have to recognize that we as a people come from a source of divinity. We are children of the Most High. We also have to recognize the fact that this is even international law. Everyone has the right to a nationality. And when you look at it from that aspect, we have to recognize the fact that we here have been put here for a purpose of divinity. Now we have work to do. When you were speaking, Dr. Shaheed, in reference to those of our ancestors that never made it to the deck of the ship, was those that would prefer to drown as opposed to living a life of slavery, whether it be themselves or their children, etc. It ended up being food for creatures under the ocean. And also how our people, during that time of physical slavery, suffered, and all the horrors and abuses that they had to go through. That in itself, brings one to a state of gratitude for Allah blessing us in this new era of time with a prophet, and that's something that we don't take lightly. When we look at it from the aspect of, I can recall prior to coming into Moorish science, where living that so-called black life, not having a clue, and just allow oneself to get taken off by things that you see outside of itself. Like you being jerked around like a puppet on a string, and still thinking that is the end-all, be-all, that you either got to try to make it till you fake it, or suffer, or what have you, and you living a life of an illusion, and Rome is a master of illusion. And we going right along, falling off the count. So when we look at it from the aspect of, I know for self, I asked Allah to show me what it is that I am supposed to be doing. And this was sincere, this was honest, but I knew that I was lost. I knew that I didn't have any clue of where I'm supposed to be going, much less where I came from. And that's an aching pain, and it's a horrible feeling to recognize the fact that you don't have a clue. And don't know what you're supposed to be doing, but you know that you weren't put here to suffer. And I had to have a cousin come to me and say that, God didn't put you here on this plane to suffer. That was a paradigm shift for myself. So, we always have to be open to the fact that Allah will send you angels. You don't know from where, but you recognize the truth in what it is that they speak. So when yes, and married to Swift Angel number 1, praise Allah. So, coming into Moorish science, I knew when I heard the words of the prophet that this was where I was supposed to be. But I did not have a clue on the other side of that there were going to be tests, there were going to be various trials. You have those that may want to try you to the inch of your life, but the thing is, you got to hold on. The chairman taught a lesson to us very early on in reference to, if you don't know what it is that you have, hold on to it until it unfolds in front of you. And this is how the truth is. This is why we encourage our people to do the research, study, to be what you know. We're not telling our people to, because I said so, then this is what you do. That time is gone. We are here to teach our people the truth. We are here to let them know that there is a government, that Allah is the one that has named us as Moorish American nationals, and this is the path of divinity that He has put us on. So, as our Moorish kin has stated, why would I, after all this suffering and walking around blindly in the darkness of unconsciousness, and then having been blessed enough to receive the light and recognize that this is the path, not just for myself, my children, but for our special nation and the rest of the nations of the earth, I have to beat Lord self down and kick it in the head and recognize it's illusion and recognize you got to walk through fear and every other kind of thing that lower self, this is your own negative thinking, will throw at you. But the thing is, not a word is lost. And the thing that slapped me in the head for a paradigm shift, this is dealing with self. Because we got to be the lessons that we bring. Time never was when man was not. So it doesn't make a difference what you go through. You have to recognize that this is a question I have to ask myself. What is the lesson to be learned? Why am I going through this? Or why did I allow myself to be bound down? When we ask these questions, and also that mantra, first question, the one-on-one, who made you? So that automatically takes you out of the muck and the mire, or lower self wanting to play games and things of that nature, or come through a door when it's not observed. The thing is, we are here for divine mission, a divine purpose. We did it before, and the keys of civilization are back in our hands, and it's up to us to re-civilize the world again. And I tell you, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see the prophecies of our Prophet Noble Drew Ali unfolding before our very face. You see our people all across the globe being slaughtered just for the sake of power, because I want to be this and that. And see, we are here to bring the keys of peace, to bring love divine, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And those are keys that one cannot bury. So gratitude more for calling me forth. Very beautiful and uplifting class. Thank you for the truth. Peace and love to all of my Moorish kin. It's all.
And gratitude and peace to the tribe of endurance. Goodness gracious. Well, speaking of the tribe of endurance, well, man, let me call for a grand man. Because you know we always use that drawing as well. The tribe of endurance had to demonstrate Act 1 for a long time. You know, and Cherubim and Seraphim was right there with the spirit of the mighty Allah being demonstrated through our chairman. You know, and the goddesses and the queen, one of them spoke and the other spoke in the same spirit. You know, and this in and of itself shows us that they brought this government to the manifest. They kept the door open. Now that we done walked up in here, what we gonna do? So speaking of that, let me call forth my Grand National Chairman, Dr. Akin Acton Pert M. Heru. We gonna call him Scimitar, sharp. Come on up in here, Chairman, because we already know, what time it is. Islamism.
Man, I wish a member would. Islam.
Islamism.
Right, praising Allah on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, said much honor to Noble Drew, the last prophet these days and time that was sent from on high to bring us the everlasting gospel. And he did just that, because prior to that, we done forgot the measure. But now we know who made us. We know the measure that we bring. We know that we're angels of the great God, who our forefathers were. That's an honor and blessing. And we also got our own flag, bearing that seal and emblem. We got everything that takes to represent a nation. So, we don't know nothing about no slavery. And we're not here to make no idiots out of ourselves, because we're here to deliver a message, because we are the angels that were sent from on high to bring the everlasting gospel of the great God to our people. And we've done just that. And that's why it's an honor, blessing to know that you've got a divine constitution along with the bylaws. You got a holy Quran. Everything we got is sacred. Everything. That's why it's just an honor and blessing more so. Boy, this has been a grand class more than I enjoyed it. And man, I'm ready now, Let's see, if we get on the front line and roll up our pants leg. Come on. Islamism without a schism.
Islamism without the schism. And see, now Moorish America know why we call our chairman the first swift angel and the last adept to make us some. Islamism without the schism Goodness gracious. We know our chairman know who made him. Well, speaking on our chairman knowing who made him, we already know that our National Grand Sheik, Dr. Serapis Amin Rael, is right up there in the head being a love thought. So where you at, National Grand Sheik? I know you ain't on this one here.
I'm in the thought. And everything he brought.
Islam.
Yes, sir. Brand demonstration more. Thank you for that baby food. Truly, we want to rise and give a lot of praise, giving the brothers a voice, give us a measure for the cycle. Honors to the sheep for blessing, being able to deliver the lesson. Thank you, Sheik. Honors to our officials in our staff, the Grand Mufti, Assistant Grand Mufti, and Mufti Corps, Divine Ministers, student ministers alike, Royal Council, citizens, sympathizers, and supporters, multitude of ones on the manifest, flag, seal, emblem, Constitution which we stand, or everything that it takes for the one to make a stand. This has been a grand, holistic perspective that the Sheik set out this evening, and truly, I know it touched the heart of a multitude of Moors that were happy to be blessed to catch it in the atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere. The brothers gave us a very powerful lesson that we draw of ourselves and get a drawing up of why are we here? Who sent us here? And we go back and look at that. We see that there's someone sent us here, and we are definitely here for a reason. We're definitely here for a purpose. We're not here alone. And you know, there's a lesson in our Quran, it talks about one being here and was with the one who covered love thought for 2,000 years ago, and how the one walked with the love thought right now. And that the love thought be our brother, man, the prophet of you, Ali, and I am ecstatically honored to have an idea of what that brother was about. And he's definitely been, what you call it, a head setter, so to speak, in my life, my learning. And I'm continually growing, and I humble myself each day because each day can be a tragic spill. It don't take nothing but a second. You got to always be on top of where you're walking, how you're walking, what you're saying when you're talking. And we try to do that on a day-to-day basis. So she could appreciate you feeding us this evening, that holy breath. And I pray that all of those who were on the call received a blessing and a lesson like I did. Praise Allah. Long live Moorish America. January 15, 1929, a warning from the prophet to be read in all meanings. Everybody from all citizens was seeing all radical agitating speeches while they work in the homes on the streets. Self peace and not destruction. Stop blasting your cars to Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders reveals severe consequence. We have to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice in must take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens or malicious feelings toward the government or the property or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law laid out in them by their prophets. They lose confidence in their prophets. They should tell you their card and button, which one determines the affairs, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet number 2 Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans to do their part in protecting their prophet and the government. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to teach people to be themselves by all the prophet number 2 Ali. This divine warning is supreme law to be by the government which it stands, Islam, Islam, Islam. We are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the rest of one mother has given you son. The bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers. Peace and happiness may dwell in my father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that binds thee to love and unity, and burn out a straight for thy own blood. Thy brother's anniversary assist him. If our sisters in trouble forsake her not, so shall the fortunes of our father contribute to the support of his whole race and its care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, Islam, Islam. This meeting is officially closed according to Act 2 of our divine constitution, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. More and peace, more. Much love. Peace, love, and law. Islam. Great class, National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Shaz. Great class, sir. Great class. Love all you. Great class. Get to pay them dues. Love your Sheik, love your Chairman, Assistant Grand Sheik, love all you boys. Don't get to pay them dues. Love all y'all.
Islam, Moor.
We love you.
You know we love you, Moor.
Is no longer being recorded.
Don't let them tell you nothing different. We love you. We love you with love divine. Goodness gracious.
Love when you talk clean to me.
Well, all right. Want to give honors to our family out there in social media too. I told you they be showing up. Brother Tyrese Bay, Charles Warrior, Tyrese L, Ronnie Dwight, Noble Bryan, Michael Stanley L, Marquise, Sister Sunshine L, our family from London, the Nato Basco. Goodness gracious. Moorish America gone nationwide. Islam. Islam. And y'all be sure to get that book of fire. You know, call headquarters 434-676-1555. And also, y'all can be sure, if you want to, anytime, tune into our conference call. 609-746-1180. That's the number, and 63938 318 is our pound 318 pound is our extension. So we want to give honors to our family for participating, and we look forward to seeing you again. All right, now be sure to tune into our ears class and come on up in Sunday school if you want to, because we welcoming everybody. Islam, peace and love. We love you.
Islam, we'll see you then. Peace and love.
Goodbye.